Why did you become a recording artist in the first place?
Yeah. So, I fell in love. Just simple as that. And then, like, in my first relationship and stuff, I kind of like just went through a lot of heartbreak, but also I felt like I had a lot of narcissistic behavior because of the family and things that I grew around and things like that. So, like, I started speaking on it. You know what I mean? Like, started speaking on just this narcissistic behavior that I was seeing throughout my relationship, seeing throughout my mother's relationship, and things like that. And that just helped me, like, become more aware of this energy, but also, like I said, just express myself. So that's why I started music in the first place.
And what genre of music do you consider yourself at this point?
I don't really put like any genres or any titles to myself.
And when it comes to your music,
hmm
how did you learn how to do it? What was that learning process like for you?
So it was like, first I started off already loved writing. I wrote books, you know what I mean? Like, at the time I had a girlfriend that I would just like write her books, and that's how like I expressed myself to her and things like that. Then I started doing poems, and then after the poems, that's kind of when I got into the music. And when I started doing music, I would literally just rhyme the simplest words, just keep writing and consistently just like building the skill and studying other artists.
Based on this description, would you say you were self-taught or did anyone teach you?
I can't say I was self-taught in the skill, yes, because I took the time to do it and stuff, but music surrounded me throughout my whole life. So, you know what I mean, even before writing, I was in choir and stuff in like elementary school and things like that. So I always had this passion for music.
And what elementary school did you attend that you're referencing here?
It's called Southside Elementary,
And what part of the world is that in?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And when it comes to music, this was something you wanted to do on your own, or was it a suggestion? Maybe someone put a battery in your back, so
It
to
was
speak.
it was something that I wanted to do on my own because I had came across a show called The Rap Game, and I was like, yo, that's cool. Like, I wonder if I can just do the same thing on there, and that's what pushed me to start posting my freestyles and things like that. So yeah.
How far did you get with trying to get on the rap
No,
game?
I didn't get on there. They like last minute had me fill some stuff out, and then they were like they already got the cast. So I was just like, bruh, I don't even care.
Do you remember what season that was?
I want to say 5 or 6, one of those.
Do you remember your very first song?
Yeah, it was called "You Lie to Me."
And what was that song about?
Once again, heartbreak. So I was going through some stuff. My friend was going through some stuff. So I just took all her stuff and put it together and started speaking on it. Basically, just like I like storytelling. So Will You Lie to Me, I kind of like, even in the music video, I incorporated like, yo, like you think you're just with this one person, but it's all these third parties and different parties involved. It's like, we don't know what love is right now. So I'm going to just speak on it.
Do you remember what age you were at the time when you created that song?
I want to say 15 or 14.
Were those lyrics on that song true back then?
Yeah, 100%.
And was this a physical release or a digital one at the time?
What do you mean by physical or digital? Like,
Physical, like CD, vinyl.
oh, so it was digital, all digital.
And how did you release it digitally back then, this particular song?
So, besides music and stuff like that, I actually am really into technology and just like building profiles in general. So, before I even started building my profile, I had Catfish profiles that I would build and things like that. And I learned marketing throughout all of this and just how to grab people's attention and stuff like that. So, I kind of used that skill set to market my music. And that's how I did it, like all digitally. Like, I was getting promos and then, I mean, shipping my video to different pages and stuff like that. So,
But when you initially released it, was it through like SoundCloud or a
yeah,
DSP
it
or?
was all that.
Okay.
DSPs like YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, all of it.
So this song, if people watching you for the very first time
Right.
are getting to know you, they could hear this right now if they want.
Yep. They can.
And for clarification, was this your first song ever recorded or ever released?
Nah, I want to say recorded and released because before I was going into the studio, but they were kind of more like freestyles, not a song. You know what I mean? Pieced together.
Sometimes when it comes to a recording artist's older music, it gets hidden, it gets taken down. Was there ever a thought of that with this particular song or any of your previous music around that age, 14, 15, things of that nature?
Yes and no. I want to say I probably did take some songs down, but also, no, I like to see my progress. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I post stuff on my profile and on the internet. So,
When's the last time you listened to that song?
probably like a month or two ago.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty fire. I was like, how the heck did I even know all that stuff at that time? Like,
Now, this catfishing that you mentioned, care to shed any more light on that?
yeah, so when I was younger, I got basically the internet at like a very young age. I forget what age it was, but I mean, that's how my mother would keep me distracted and keep me still and stuff like that. So I kind of just wanted to know, like, yo, what can you all do on the internet and what is it? You know what I mean? So I created fake profiles. I actually, like, you know how you play The Sims and stuff like that? So I looked at it in that way, which is kind of weird, but I made all these different characters and stuff. So it was like, you couldn't catch me. If you thought I was a catfish, I'll have another person confirm, like, yo, that's not a catfish or whatever. So I kind of went through that experience and I realized, like, while I was going through these fake pages phases, it was me learning how to be myself. You feel me? Because before I even got on my real page, I was on everybody else's page, living like through their experiences and giving them meanings and things like that. So that's what I feel like with fake pages, because I feel like a lot of times too, like even when you're in a relationship and it's like, oh dang, the relationship's bad, and now you're looking through a fake page and stuff to see what they're doing, you're aware that you're blocked from this one perspective. So you have to literally change your whole personality, your whole everything, and look at this from a different perspective. And that's kind of how I look at it.
When it comes to those catfishing days, was it just innocent? Was it fun, or was it of devious reason back then?
It was definitely fun to me, but like on the other side, I have no clue. Like they probably was heartbroken because I done ghosted like mad times. I would literally like, I don't know. I just did it for fun, but at the same time, like I feel like it was very character developing, and like it helped me learn how to market myself. So
There's also a show called
catfish,
Catfish.
and that's when I stopped catfishing because I was not about to have Neva Max pull up to my door. I'm like 13, 14 doing this, so it's like not 14 actually, way younger than that, but. Yeah, I was like spooked. When that show came out, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta stop this. I had to stop.
When you were catfishing, were you developing love relationships?
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Like, you know what I mean, you have to get connected, and it's like, yo, like, can I make this person fall in love with me? I actually like did it to where it was just this one person. Like, I never knew who the person was, but like my characters knew who she was, and that's kind of how I went about it. And I think I did it for like maybe like 2 years or whatever, and it was just like, yeah, I don't know, it's just what it was.
Was that the longest you were in a catfish relationship with someone? Was for 2 years, or?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if, like, she'll see this and, like, no. But, like, who knows? Like, I don't know.
What age were you as the catfish profile? You were in real life 13.
I was, like, what? How old was I in, like, 2012? 2012 is 10 years ago. So, like, 10. That's kind of, like, yeah, 10, 11, because when I was, like, 12 and 13, that's when I got my actual real first girlfriend, so.
So when you were 10 years old and you were catfishing, what age were you portrayed as?
The person I was talking to was, like, 16, so, like, that age, not that much of a time jump.
They had no idea they were talking to a 10-year-old.
They didn't, and I still to this day I be wondering, because it's like, I have a very feminine voice, so it's like, how didn't you know? Like, how didn't you suspect?
So when you were catfishing, they had access to your voice, just not...
Yeah, so we would talk over the phone and we would text. We wouldn't do... That's when videos and stuff wasn't, like, that popular and stuff, so...
So this was before FaceTime days?
Yeah, this was when, like, Facebook... Because I had started on MySpace, and then I went on Facebook, and that's when I really started making the fake pages on Facebook.
So they could hear your voice, but they never saw a real picture of you ever.
Never. They'd seen an illusion. That's it. And the words.
You saw real pictures of them.
Yep.
Do you think they were ever catfishing you in some sense?
I never thought of it like that, but it could be possible. You know what I mean? Like, even, I feel like the catfish part of it would be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they were faithful the whole time we were in this relationship, we're doing this and that. And I mean, it's long distance, so.
And were there times they were trying to meet up with you physically in
Oh, yeah.
person?
There was definitely times. I remember one of the persons I was talking to said she was catching a plane. Had to break up with her because, yeah, that couldn't happen. Just couldn't.
This person that was in a 2-year relationship with you, they were trying to physically see you throughout the 2 years. With all the excuses you used, they still stayed.
All right, so it wasn't excuses. So this is what I did. The first year, I was playing as some other character. And then when we broke up, I created another page. And she, you know what I mean, started dating that character. And so that's how I did it.
So even though it was a 2-year relationship with the same person, it was really just like 2 1-year relationships.
Yeah, but it was me the whole time, so.
Never admitted to this person who you really were.
I tried to. I didn't know how to tell her. It's like, what am I supposed to say? You like 16 and I'm like 11? You feel me? It's like, done role played for so long. And I think that's kind of where it came from with the fake pages and stuff. It's kind of like the role playing thing and stuff like that. Because a lot of people, like, they'll do it. Like, you know how many people's in a relationship playing house right now? It's the same thing.
You were 20 year, well, you were, it was, I think you said 5 or 6 year age gap. 6-year age gap. At this point in the interview, you're currently 20 years old.
Yeah.
They would be 25 or 26 at this moment.
Yeah, they would. That's really close to 30.
What do you think they would think? I mean, because you know them really well after 2 years, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
What do you think they would think if it was ever unveiled that you are who you are, which is this recording artist that went viral and has all these followers on social media and is a somebody in real life?
Right. I don't know what they would think, to be honest. I have no clue. But what I do think is, like, I feel like, especially if she was entertaining my energy at that time, I do believe in the law of attraction. So it's like attracts like. You were most likely dealing with some catfish characteristics of afraid of being yourself and this and that. So I feel like that kind of like helped both of us in a way, even if she's not aware of it. And I did try to tell her one time, but I couldn't do it. I was just like, I don't want you to know who I am.
Do you think you will ever?
I mean, I don't know. I was going to say if she asks, but how would she ask if she don't know? I mean, I guess. I don't care now, though.
Do you still, even though you had broken up with her twice, and it was you breaking up with her both times, did you still keep tabs on her? Did you still check up on her from time to time?
When I was doing that?
When you weren't. When you stopped.
Oh.
Because you said you stopped after the show.
Nah, yeah. So I didn't really check up on her, but like I said, like if like maybe I had a conversation with a friend about this or whatever, and then I'll go and see her page or whatever. But I didn't see any updates because like I seen like an old page or whatever, and that's really it.
Because sometimes, in the perspective of this question, is sometimes people, you know, they spend a moment and go through old yearbooks and reminisce on old times in high school or middle school or elementary school, or maybe they forgot about some friends that they had in school, some classmates, and want to reconnect with them later in life. I didn't know if that was one of those instances where, you know, it's been so long, relatively speaking, maybe, hey, I wonder what this person's up to.
Yeah. That, I don't know. To be honest, like, with my experience, I never understood why I was catfishing people at that time, so it was kind of hard for me to even, like, admit, like, I was doing that. So I would say, like, I don't know. Like, I just, now I don't really, like, check in. The only person, like, I check in is, like, my first love. Like, that's the only person I was checking for, you know?
Did it have anything to do with your sexual orientation?
Possibly. Because when I was catfishing, I didn't come out to my mom as, like, gay and stuff. So that definitely, like, helped me understand it more, too. And then eventually when I did come out to her, it's like, oh, now I don't have to play these characters. I could just be me.
Do you remember what age that was in your life when you came out?
I don't remember the age, but I know it was once I entered middle school.
And do you remember how you did it and how that went?
Yeah, so okay. The way I came out to my mom was like, I didn't really come out. It kind of just like happened because me and my sister at the time shared a room, and she had farted, and it made me mad. And so I picked up a wire and I hit her with it. Wrong decision to do. My mom came in, took my phone, and went into her room, and I guess she ran through my phone. So when she ran through my phone, that's when she seen like, oh, you like girls or whatever. So when we were in the car or whatever, she just asked me. And this time, at this point, I knew she ran through my phone. So I'm kind of preparing like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to change for you and this and that and da-da. So when we got in the car, she just asked, and she was like, you like girls? And I was like, yeah. And then she was just like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And it was just like from there, like she kind of was like, at first she wasn't that supportive of it, but then she was just like really supportive of it and just like more understanding, you know?
How did you feel at that time when the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, officially?
I felt free, to be honest. I felt like a superstar because it's just like, yo, like I don't have to mask up and, pretend to be one way when I'm really this way, you know?
Is there anything you would say to somebody and of course circumstances could be different for everybody, but
Right.
generally speaking, is there anything you would say to somebody on that topic
Um,
that's watching this?
yeah, I would definitely say like the truth really will set you free. You feel me? Regardless of what it is or where you are or who you are and what you're going through, the truth gonna set you free because otherwise, you start bottling things in and it just feels like a nightmare until you just release it.
And because your mother had looked in your phone
Mm-hmm.
and the cat got out of the bag when she
Right.
asked you in the car, do you think, would that fall? There's a phrase where, and I don't know the correct terminology. I don't know if it's just called outing or being publicly outed, but would that fall under that category or not really? Because it was a,
Right.
it was an event that caused her to look at your phone, which revealed what was really going on.
Even with what you said right there, right? So, like, my brand Love 7, like, that's kind of the philosophy I focus on. Like, your desire. First, you have a desire, then it becomes a thought, then choice, possibilities that lead to events that interpret your entire experience. So, how that experience played out was because I most likely, like I said, already wanted to come out. You feel me? So, it's kind of like all these things happened to put that in play to where we had that conversation and I just released it and came out.
How long do you think it took? I don't know how your memory is, but how long do you think it took for your mother to warm up to everything? And I forgot the
I
verbiage you
definitely
used,
want to
but
say, even though she doesn't say it, I want to say like definitely a couple years in. After that, even though she was like, "Yo, I accept you" and stuff, because I kind of felt like even when I did get in a relationship, it was like you weren't for it. You know what I mean? You could tell by the way they're, you know what I mean, talking about your significant other and things like that, and it's just like I don't know. Like that's when I had to really learn to like, yo, like I'm gonna do something because I want to do it, not because other people like it or don't like it. You know?
are there other gay family members?
Um. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you ever confide to them before the cat got out of the bag?
Honestly, no. Cause the ones that are gay, like we didn't have that much of a close like connection type of thing.
And those members are on your mother's side or father's side?
Mothers. Yeah.